depression contained extraordinary mystery. One was, why are rates of clinical depression going up so much? Because it was really, really clear, even in 1990, that rates of depression were already starting to skyrocket. Number two, why are they skyrocketing even while we're throwing all these medications and other forms of therapy at it? Number three, what is really driving depression? And I mean, at a immediate causal level, I was kind of overwhelmed to learn early in my grad school training that roughly 1 out of every 5 research papers in the realm of psychiatry, clinical psychology, mental health, 1 out of 5 are about depression. So already 32 years ago, there were tens of thousands of published papers on depression. There are brain circuitry things. There are cognitive, mental things. There's ways that we have negative, distorted thoughts and ways that we ruminate, and it affects our behavior and our social. And nobody had really put it all together. And nobody knew how to get people who are depressed, how to get them in full recovery and keep them in full recovery in a consistent sort of way. So our best treatments, even if we thought we're giving world-class care, most people were not getting 100% better. And even if they weren't staying 100% better. Well, you can fast forward to 2022 while we're recording this, and that is still true, by the way. Most depressed patients who get treatment as usual, even, the best treatment we have, they're not getting well and staying well. That's because our treatment as usual is not getting the job done. And so I became really passionately engaged in this. I'm a puzzle solver. I'm a problem solver. And I thought, okay, this is an intellectual puzzle that is big enough to throw myself into, because the stakes are really high, because we're talking about tens of millions of lives. We're talking about 1 million people every year that take their own life through suicide, most of them depression-linked suicide. We're talking about, such suffering and debilitation. Early in my career, I think maybe appropriately humble enough to think like, science usually progresses by people who feel like, I'll add another little brick or two to this grand edifice. These these bricks, by the way, I said little, but they're these really cherished, hard-won facts that are the fruits of years and years and years of very, very intense labor. And if you're lucky, and if you're good and you have to be both, then you can pluck a couple of these hard-won truths and you can add it to the wall. And over time, there's this cumulative character. That was my goal.